WWF In Your House 10 Mind Games. Look, we got one of Mick Foley's best matches ever with Shawn Michaels. We got the tag titles on the line. We got a final curtain match. The ECW invasion begins, and we kick off the Stone Cold and Bret Hart feud. Whatever. But I know you're here to hear about Jim Cornette versus Jose Lothario. Don't you worry. We'll get balls deep into that right here on the Apron Bump podcast.
Yeah. And the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock this. Let's get it started.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Apron Bump podcast. I'm your host, the hardest part of the ring, Kyle Bird. How is everybody doing today? Oh, I don't know why I'm singing, but maybe it's just because I'm in such a peachy mood because we get to talk about some 1996, the WWF. Mind Games, baby. September 1996. Hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Not Philadelphia, Mississippi. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know what? Real quick, let's just... I hate to come out hot, right out the gate here, but I just gotta say something. I might have even said this before on the podcast. I can't remember. Because, Philadelphia, look, we got WrestleMania coming up, WrestleMania 40, hailing from Philadelphia. I got a lot of Philadelphia shenanigans coming up here in the next few weeks as of recording this, but I just gotta say something, man. Cheesesteaks. Right? Cheesesteaks. Look, I love a good cheesesteak. Love them. I've been to Philly. I've had Philly's cheesesteaks. I've been to Pat's. I've been to Geno's. There was other places. I don't remember what their names were. You can get a good Philly cheesesteak anywhere, dude. Like, these people that drive like 10, 15 hours to go to Philly and get a cheesesteak, like, go fuck yourself. Like, what are we doing here? You can get a Philly cheesesteak in Virginia that is just as good as one in Philadelphia. Can we stop with the inflating the fucking Philly cheesesteaks? All right, your spray cheese. Suck my balls, stupid ass gimmicky fucking Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah. Got it. Anyways, In Your House 10. That's what we're here to talk about. We got Mankind versus Shawn Michaels in the main event for the world title. We got Goldust and Undertaker going at it in a final curtain match. Mankind and Undertaker feud is still progressing, and we get some movement here in my pants as well as in the feud. Between those two, we got an ECW invasion. That whole thing gets kicked off here, which I was like, we'll talk about it, but I thought it was pretty awesome how it panned out. The tag team titles are on the line. We got Mark Henry's debut, there's a lot of silliness on this show, but I kind of enjoyed it. How much did I enjoy it? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned until the end of the podcast, where the hardest promotion battle of 1996 continues. WWF versus WCW versus ECW. We will grade this show and we'll compare all of the different criteria, the in-ring, the out-of-ring, the characters, the hoopla, all of it. We'll compare the three different companies, see if this show gave us any of the best or the worst of this year so far, as of September 22nd, 1996. We'll see where we're at. We'll see how the points shake out. Currently, WWF is in the lead. We will go over all the points and how, you gain points, you lose points. Bottom line, whoever wins at the end of 1996, whoever has the most points, they will earn a purchase from the hardest part of the ring. So, whatever company wins, I'll purchase a belt from that company. Well, it's all fucking WWE now, but you know what I mean. So stay tuned for that. Should be a good old time. But hey, before that, we have a rootin' tootin' good time with the Year of Duke and Rogue podcast. Returning to the show, handsome Kevin Rogue, handsomer Duke Bags, lovely chaps. Always enjoy having them on the show. We've covered a bunch of ECW shows in the past, but brought them over to the Fed. Talk some mind games here. So go check out the Year of Duke and Rogue podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. They have various seasons on their show where they basically take a year of wrestling and gallivant through it, similar to what I'm doing here, chronologically working my way through timelines. They do the very same thing with different timelines. They just finished up a TNA 2005 timeline. They've done the dying days of WCW. Right now, they're in 88 WWF. So they're all over the board, just kind of like here, kind of like the Apron bump. So if you enjoy what I do, you will surely enjoy the Year of Duke and Rogue. So go check them out. All of their socials and stuff will be in the description below through Gorilla Brain Podcast. So just search them out wherever you listen to podcasts. Also check out the Shining Wizards podcast. I had Matt on a few weeks ago. Another wizard is handsome Kevin. So go check them out every Monday live on all the shit, YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff. And by the way, as of recording this, I will have been on the last episode of the Shining Wizards. I come on every third Monday of the month to talk about whatever is tickling my loins at the moment. So go check that out. I'm recording this before that happened. So I'll just assume that it was a barn burner. You know, I had everybody ripping their pants off and fucking slapping their nipples. And it's just, I can only assume, right? I can only assume. But go check that out. Apron bump on all the social medias. Join the Discord. Link is in the description below. We talk all sorts of shiz in there. And we'll have a pay-per-view predictions league here kicking off after WrestleMania. All that stuff. I think I'm all plugged out. Why don't we go ahead and get this bad boy on the road, huh? WWF In Your House 10. Mind Games with myself and Kevin and Duke from the Year of Duke and Rogue podcast. And you're the guy with the Larry Zbyszko. What is that? A pashmina back there? Is that a t-shirt?
I wish it was a pashmina.
That's like a blanket, right?
That's not bad. We should think about maybe we can get in business here.
The pashmina business?
Yeah.
It's probably wide open.
Zbyszko and pashmina? Is that how you?
There's something there. There's definitely something there.
I think they could be fast friends.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you?
I mean, think about it. Wouldn't you want that face wrapped around your neck?
Well, I mean, that might be vice versa, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Larry Z strikes me as a power bottom, but that's just me, you know?
Well, wherever he is, he's powerful.
That's very true.
That's the end of it.
He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt wherever he is.
And you're wearing a Sting shirt, huh?
What does he do?
Did you get all wrapped up in the happiness of Sting? Is that what you're doing?
I just thought it was a neat little design. That's really all it comes down to. I like the Miami Vice little color scheme, you know?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I like being stung every now and then.
By Larry?
He wouldn't be my last choice, I guess.
So that's a good question. Who would be your last choice?
Are we talking like just wrestlers or just like anybody?
I think we probably got to limit to wrestlers in this, for this scenario.
Oh, let's see here. Big Show sounds like a bad time. I don't know why. It seems like he's just sweaty and there's not a lot packing. You know, not a lot bang for your buck. Oh, yeah.
Okay. You think that he's the Giant, but he's not necessarily got that Andre hog.
Yeah, I would say it's Giant in comparison to like me or you. But for Giants, if he was in a row, if he had a row full of giant penises,
right,
he'd be the littlest Giant. He'd be Little Giant.
He'd be Little Jai. I like that. Little Jai. Gotcha. Yeah. So the Yeti, he's past the Jai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about all he has.
Great Khali. He doesn't strike me as a guy that's swinging an 84 ounce claw hammer there.
Yeah, where do Indians stand in that? Is that like a stereotype?
I think
not, right?
probably not. Yeah, I don't think people talk about Indians.
I guess
really
it's
at all
technically
anymore, yeah.
Asian, right? So I guess that would fall under the negative stereotype, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably smells good though.
You know what would do wonders for the stereotype?
What's up?
Just wonders. If you found like the Pete North
Hmm.
of the Asian demographic, right?
Yeah.
And you just start he's in every porno you see, right? You can't get away from him, right?
Right.
He does that for like 20 years. Stereotype completely changes.
Peter, North Korea, huh?
We already got a name for him. There it
Kim
is.
Jong Un. There we go.
I thought Kim Hong Un.
Oh, we'll see. You could have multiple.
Right, it'll work. Man.
Yeah, I
think we just changed the complete stereotype.
Man, we're just printing money here. I don't even think we need Duke. Let's just close it here. We'll end recording.
Yeah, I mean,
call it a day.
That's fine. We figured it out. Any other stereotypes you want to tackle though?
Well, that's not. I mean, yes, but no, not while the record button is on.
Right.
See, I'm a quarter Asian, so I think I could tackle the Asian ones.
Well, that's a good question then. If you're a quarter Asian,
yeah.
What are the other 3/4 of you?
Larry.
Okay.
At least of my anus.
Okay.
3/4. It's just a bunch of white bullshit. You know, a lot of Scottish, Irish.
Gotcha.
I think it's about it. But where do you? You're probably Nordic, not Nordic, Norwegian.
I am. It's hideous how many different nationalities fall into what you would make. Like you're a quarter this. I'm a fucking quarter nothing. I'm like a 64th of every fucking thing you can think of.
Right.
You know what that means?
What does that mean?
My family fucks.
Oh yeah.
Actually, true story here. I'll crack an egg of knowledge on you. The only reason why I'm here in the States to begin with, great grandfather got kicked out of Denmark.
Oh, what do you do?
They said you're not for us. That's what they said. Too much, man.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, really getting after it. Really smoking that ass.
What's up?
Smoking that ass.
In what context? Like smoking that ass, or like smoking that ass, or
smoking that ass.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I figured you did. I didn't think I'd have to walk you to the finish line, but we got there.
I prefer to hold hand with you on the way.
We could probably figure that out.
We'll do something. Yeah, just like this guy.
It's a very.
How we doing, Duker?
And to find my smoking guns hat, man. I mean, look at this guy.
Sensational.
It's not bad, man. Are you rocking your cowboy? What are they? Those leather cowboy partials you have?
No, I'm going your style with no socks, no shoes.
Attaboy.
Prove it.
Just naked downstairs.
How come you sound?
I think you might have the wrong mic selected, perhaps.
Yeah, as I say, you hear that right hand job?
Yeah,
That's perhaps the case. So where do I got to go here?
It's a little mic, the little mute button to the left at the bottom. Oh, that's not it. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Settings, and then audio, and then you can probably figure out the rest.
Maybe. We'll see. God, dude, you're like part fucked up and part badass. I don't know what it is. You got like the long hair, right? Which is always a badass look, right? Usually.
I'm trying.
You got the glasses on there, which is like kind of a library look, which is usually not so badass. And you got the cowboy hat on, which can be associated with badass, but it's tipped so far north that it kind of goes over the badass and back to like kind of the dork thing. Man, it's like it's every 90s sitcom character mashed into one, kind of. You're like a full house antagonist. Oh, you went Full House. I was going to go Perfect Strangers, but it's fine.
Oh, okay, that's all right. We'll figure it out.
Oh,
I think I found the issue here.
Yeah. Unplugged. Did your plug fall out?
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's still up there. How am I sounding now?
The same.
Sounding all right?
No.
You sound like shit.
You sound like you're broadcasting from a butthole.
Maybe that's what we want.
Oh, you're almost there. Oh.
How about now? Huh?
Oh,
Hey.
yeah. Yeah.
Is that a winner?
Yeah, we got a winner.
That's a winner. Man,
I'm still working out the kinks with this guy. You know,
I got you.
That's what I hear. That's what that hat tells me. Is that the
think
kink that
it
you're
was-
working out?
I think it was a good purchase, though. But I mean, I still got the price tag in there just in case. You know?
That's a good idea.
Just buy it on the way here. Wait, there's Billy and Bart. I gotta get this hat. It fits you though.
Well, it's not every day you get to cover the guns, man. I think this is probably my first show covering the smoking guns. So
Wow.
pretty pumped.
No, it's not.
When did we cover the guns? I don't think we did.
Like, was it the first year we did a Duke and Rogue?
We covered
What the-
Rockabilly.
You covered
that
what's his dick? Kip James. Right?
Yeah.
He was there in your
Yeah, TNA run. But wasn't he fucking Rumble 94? Didn't he slide across the ring like a maniac?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Well, if he was there, he for sure did that. But
Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we at least covered one gun.
right.
One gun.
Mm.
One gun, two guns, one cup, three guns, a coffee place.
3 guns in a coffee house.
Ah.
3
Ah,
Oh yeah.
three caballeros and an ice cream treat.
I don't speak French, but
You'll get there.
Jose Lothario probably does. Speaking of which, he's on this little show.
French, huh? French for the Lothario.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's part of the Quebecers, I think.
I'll put that down on my notes.
Yeah, make sure you note that down so you don't forget it. Don't hurt your neck, D'Lo Brown over there. Were you playing mind games over there? Wait a minute. Speaking of which, hold on. But yeah, boys, glad to have you once again. Been too long, and glad to. Well, I was gonna say it's gonna be interesting to talk not about ECW, but
Yes.
it's not completely true. But mind games, boys, In Your House 10. Would you got overall thoughts on the show from what you've watched? If you did watch it,
Yeah, I watched it. If we're going to give an overall before we jump in, overall, it's an easy watch. It's an easy watch. It's one that like you can kind of just sit back and let play, right? You don't have to get upset, right? You don't have to get happy. You don't have to get. You know what? I've completely changed my mind. I'm very indifferent to it. Yeah.
very indifferent.
Very indifferent. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a lot of passionate thoughts of the show, but overall, I'm pretty indifferent.
Just a lot of pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. This is the first time I'd seen this show. I'd seen the main event, great match, but I mean, looking at the rest of the card, it didn't look like I was missing out on too much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got that Jose and James E match.
Ooh,
Sure, that's
barn
gonna be a
burner.
classic. But yeah, there's some good stuff, man. Savio in the strap match. We got, a stipulation match with Goldie and the Taker, which isn't really clear. Don't you love when they do that?
Yeah.
A lot of vagary on this show. Yeah.
It
would
reminds
agree.
me of that Giant Gonzalez match, right? It was like the final rights match or whatever it was when it was like, the only way to win was by pin or submission.
Right. Narrowed it down.
Yeah, it's the same type of deal.
Last
Yeah.
rights match? Was that what is it called?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like
him
the,
and Gonzalez.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Who
big,
was it? Was it Taker and Gonzalez?
Yep.
Interesting. I don't think I've watched that. Is it worth a watch?
You would have had to have watched it.
No.
Didn't you
Wow.
cover it? When did you start covering?
WrestleMania 10.
Oh, what a mistake.
No, I think I'm fine.
What a mistake.
that was
No.
right after the Gonzalez
Yeah.
experiment.
Yeah.
Man, maybe I'll just do a standalone episode on GG.
You should. Now here's another going back to what we were talking about before we got the Duke here. Where
Mhm.
does Gonzalez fall on your giant of giant dicks?
Giant dicks. I mean, it's probably the size of Harvey Whippleman,
Right.
You gotta believe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
that's Swinger.
Still not Andre's.
See, Andre doesn't. You know what? Andre probably does that. He has a thick one for sure. It's the thickest of the giants. Sweaty, but
you're saying that Hog's got girth, but she ain't got length.
I mean, it's got some length, but I wouldn't say he's the longest, but definitely the widest. Longer than Big Show.
Yeah.
Probably not as long as Yeti, but thicker than both. I can provide a graph for you if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think you're mistaken, but I'd love to see the graph.
Well, we'll do the research and we'll reconvene. And
is it going to be like a pie chart?
It's going to be more like a bar graph.
I thought you were going to go bar graph, but I was trying to set you up for a poontang pie graph. Anyways.
Oh, that's... Ask it again. Ask it again.
Is it going to be a potentially...
It's going to be a poontang pie graph. We'll edit that in post. Yeah, I'm really good at jokes. So, yeah, no, I would agree. This show is in your houses this era. Generally easy watches, sub 2 hours, really good main event. Everything else you can kind of take or leave. But I wasn't really nothing was like offensively bad on this show. I mean, depending on what you're looking for in wrestling, but it was entertaining throughout, is what I'll say. But this son of a bitch gets on the road. By the way, we are at Philadelphia, which comes into play in a little bit. Toddy P gets us kicked off with a little video package at the outset, going over, the Shawn Michaels, Mankind feud, the Taker Goldust feud, how these feuds are the epitome of mind games, because that's what the show is called. And I don't know, what'd you guys think of this little opening package? I thought it was pretty dramatic. I like how it kind of put over how Shawn hasn't really been put in this situation, like how he's conquered like the athletic realm of wrestling, but hasn't had to be like against a character like this. I mean, he's no TNA guy, Todd Pettengill, but I thought this intro package is pretty good.
So the two takeaways I had from the opening, after watching it, I want Mankind to fuck Shawn Michaels up. There was just something about it that like he came across as maybe not a lovable underdog, but like that guy that needs one, right? He's a little bit out there, and they show Shawn Michaels just seems like a smug bitch. So I was like, you know what? After watching that, I don't like Shawn Michaels anymore. In fact, I like Mankind more. And also, Todd Pettengill is not the opening voice guy. Like he just doesn't have it. He's not Guy with the Voice Man, right? He's not Blassie. He's not TNA James Earl Jones. He's none of those things, right? Go get a guy with the voice.
He's not the worst. Actually, the Guy with the Voice Man starts it off, and then in in Olympic relay fashion, he hands it off to Pettengill about halfway through, which I thought was an interesting touch.
Wait a sec. You're telling me this opens with the Guy with the Voice Man, and the Guy with the Voice Man passes it off to Todd Pettengill?
Oh, yeah. Passes the baton, man.
What a giant fucking mistake that is.
It's the literal passing of the torch, maybe. Maybe he's trying to give him the rub.
I missed it. Oh, yeah?
Maybe, like, contract negotiations, like, fell ill halfway through the promo.
I was just saying, you think he's paid by the word and he was on contract? He's like, all right, guys, he got me for 11 more words. You pick. And then fucking goddamn TP gets up there. No, I'm not for
what
that.
What a way to go out, huh?
I mean, I like Pettengill. He's a trooper, right? He was a kind of a fixture of my childhood, being the, he'll interview guys up in the stands or backstage, whatever. He was a serviceable hand, but I mean, you're right, Rogue. He's no voice man.
Would you hang a Todd Pettengill poster up?
Is he like interviewing somebody?
No, man, just like an action shot, like an early '90s action shot.
Are we talking like the hosts of Livewire, like him and Sonny? Oh yeah.
No, it's just TP.
What about Scott and Todd Pettengill?
Does he got a mic at least? Does he do it anything, or am I just like, is this just sexy TP?
No, it's just sexy. It's not even sexy TP. It's TP like he was he was casting for Full House, right? Just like, hey, right?
Like Friends, like the cast of Friends. If he was in Friends, he's wearing like a snug Henley, perhaps. Yeah. Some fitted jeans.
You think he'd make the cut?
Friends? Ooh.
Friends.
Or, any. You think he could be a sitcom character?
Oh yeah, I think he's made to be a sitcom character. Maybe not Friends. Maybe more Full House side of the spectrum. Maybe a Boy
Steve
Meets
Harvey.
World. Steve Harvey, yeah, Martin. He could be that crazy neighbor.
If Sabrina had a father, I think Todd Pettengill would be perfect from that role.
He is sitcom dad. Yes, he
Yeah.
does have that energy.
Yeah.
like
So,
it.
anyways, I don't know, Duke. You alluded the question, so I'm going to kick it to you there, Handjab Kyle. A Pettengill poster on your wall, maybe right under Shinsuke there. I believe that's who you got behind you.
Yeah.
I could look
I wouldn't
nice.
mind it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. Maybe
Not bad.
I like the thought of like a landscape, like maybe over a window kind of thing. It's kind of peering over at me.
Right. Or we could
Take
get
a look.
some bordering wallpaper to go all the way around your office. Just
Oh,
Todd Pettengill double guns all the way around.
it's just Todd. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Let me ask you this.
3 inches flaccid. Wait, sorry, what?
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the question.
Good, carry on.
Oh, Mr. So is that a shirt or what do you got there with Larry Legend?
It's Larry Legend.
That's what I was asking as well. I don't know. Well, I still don't really know what. Is it a shirt?
It is. It is.
Okay.
Okay. Do you got a Pettengill figure? Did they ever make one?
Nah. They don't. They have not made one to my knowledge.
Really?
Yeah. If they would have made one, it would have been in the classic Superstars line because they made pretty much fucking everybody in that line. But yeah, not to my knowledge, man. Yeah.
Maybe like a specialty pack with him and the governor of Connecticut.
Todd
Sonny.
Christie.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Didn't they open like the you could open the 100 cases or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like what's that show with Howie Mandel? That was basically that.
Deal or No Deal?
Chris
Yeah.
Christie? What the hell is that bitch's name? Was it Chris Christie?
I don't
Todd
know.
Christie?
Chris Christie, he's the super heavyweight who was running for president.
Wasn't he the Bridgegate guy? Or is it somebody
Yes.
else?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all
But
I
prior gal who was governor.
Yeah, the gal. Yeah. I don't
Put
remember her name now.
Put the kibosh on the tax and the
Taxes.
federation as a sport.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's not a
Man.
sport, Vince says.
I mean, I don't know, man. I saw that Cornette Lothario match. It looked pretty sporty to me. A lot of the attire was, at least. But
Oh, man.
don't want to jump the gun here. Smoking guns.
I like we'll get to it with Cornette. I got some thoughts there.
Oh, believe
Hey,
me.
I know we've spent a lot of time on the opening.
No, please.
I did want to ask you guys. Did you see the pre-show? You see the fucking full-on boner maker they had on the pre-show? And those bitches had the nards not to put it on the pay-per-view?
What boner maker are you referring to?
Marty and Savio.
We got a little Savio on this. I can actually there was quite a bit of dark matches as well that could have been its own pay-per-view.
Did you watch the free for all there, Rogue?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I couldn't
didn't either.
find it. I mean, I wasn't really compelled to watch a Savio Vega Marty Jannetty match personally. Not enough to go searching the dark web, especially when we already got Savio in a strap match. I don't need 2 Savio matches.
Those are like 2 of your top 10 over there, Rogue.
I know.
Look, I like the Savio, and I'm not besmirching the Savio, but I one match, I'm good. You know, we don't need a double dip in the Sav.
You suppose that was
ding.
you suppose that was a strap-on match too? Him and Jannetty?
I hope it was.
Yeah, well, we also get a little Marty appearance in the show as well. So again,
Don't spoil it, man.
I mean, or do we? Or do we? Oh, these rockers. Well, you know, there's 3 dark matches as well, which were Jake the Snake Roberts versus Triple H. We got Mark Marrow versus Farouk, and Vader versus Psycho Sid. Again, I mean, I don't know. Would you guys prefer this over maybe like the first 3 matches of the actual show?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not the lineup, but I'm like, why are they leaving out the good matches? You know?
Yeah, I don't know if they like air those on Raw or maybe they're just doing a little run through before Raw. I don't know, but there's always like pretty big matches on these dark matches, which is interesting.
I think it's part of their Intercontinental title tournament, which I don't know why it wouldn't be on the show, but
Well, I believe they set up the finals in the Raw before this, and the finals are going to be the Raw after, I believe.
Yep.
Mark Mero versus old Faruqi boy over there. So,
oh yeah, blue hat Farouk.
helmet. It's a helmet. It's armor. Nope, only idiots wear hats. Okay. Speaking, no, except you guys. Well, hey.
All right.
Look, we got a little commentary action on the show as well. We
No
got.
shit.
I don't
Thing
know
is,
if you-
we're gonna go nobody on commentary.
Look,
Listen to
pal.
the soothing sounds of the match.
Would you have preferred it with stupid ass Vince McMahon and Mr. Perfect and heelish Jim Ross?
Heel Jim Ross is just sucks the bone dry, but Mr. P, man, Mr. P can do it. He ain't bad.
He's not. Yeah, I guess he's not bad. I didn't need him. You know.
You need
Look,
him.
flipping his pencils, stupid ass.
You got a pencil? Do you got a pencil?
I can find one. I got a pen.
Fuck it, go ahead. Flip a
got a pen,
pen
too.
without looking, catch it.
Well, how does he do it? Does he like?
He like, oh,
Yeah.
holy nutsack!
Yeah.
You did it.
Look at that.
Not bad.
Shitty pen.
Not bad.
Yeah. Thanks.
Golly, that was I called you and you answered the call.
Yeah, I'll put that on my resume.
Well
Watch
done.
me.
You should.
Not the best commentary team, but there's some laughs in there. And I mean, of course, we get our predictable McMahon overselling everything. And God, what was that? Didn't we just do a show with McMahon? And we did on the Year of show. And classic McMahon, Ravishing Rick is setting up for his finisher. McMahon's like, no, we can't be going for the Rude Awakening. You know, it's like, what the hell else are you doing?
He's already got like partially locked in.
Like, plenty of that shit in this show.
What else could he be doing? But I don't know, man. Yeah,
Jim-
commentary was fine.
Yeah, I don't know about the Jim Ross heel business. I think his big bit is he's going to bring back Razor and Diesel. Right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made
Almost like-
made Scott and Nash like an extra 750, didn't it?
Did it?
Isn't
Interesting.
that the old story?
Could be.
They were working on a promissory note or something like that, didn't have full contracts. And they were once Ross said that he was going to bring back Razor and Diesel. Then the night where they brought out Razor and Diesel, Scott and Kevin were standing in a production truck after they had signed an extra like 750 a year, something like that. And
Interesting.
WCW executives stood there with a little bit of egg on their face.
Huh.
And what a time to be alive.
Yeah, I know.
So you're telling me it was not Razor Ramon and Diesel. It was not Scott Hall and Kevin Nash on the show?
That's what I'm telling you. Yeah.
Oh, God. You just told me Santa wasn't real. Well, we got a few cameos in this opening match. First of all, it's a Caribbean strap match, not just a normal strap match. It's a Caribbean strap match. Justin Hawk Bradshaw, of course, accompanied by Uncle Zebekiah, taking on Savio Vega. So you get your fill there, Roger. Ultimately, I think this match was just here for the cameo, I guess you would say. But I mean, I thought it was a solid enough opening match. I don't know what you guys make of it.
Right before this thing started out, I couldn't help but notice some really stupid fan signs in the front row. Like,
I love it.
didn't make any sense. Vince McMahon for God.
Yeah, for God.
What does that mean?
Like there's
that
an
means
election.
that means no. It's not. He's running for God. He's just for God.
Oh,
Yeah, like hey, I like that. I like that guy.
you think Vince planted it there to?
Right. Like yeah, like me. I like Larry Legend. Right. So people would say like HK for Larry Legend.
Nobody would say that. What are you talking about?
Fuck you said. I just said it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like how do you feel? How do you feel about jalapeno cream cheese? I'm for it. Right. I'm for jalapeno cream
Why
cheese.
was that your go-to thing? I mean, I guess. Yeah, I'm for it too.
Yeah. See,
I've
So,
never,
Okay.
Vince
never had,
for God.
never had that flavor.
It's fantastic, man.
Sounds pretty good.
It's very
But-
good.
So I'm thinking maybe those poor guys in the front row, maybe English is their second language. Not unlike Savio, who's bringing the thunder in the back. I didn't quite pick up what he was saying, but I know he said like tu casa, right?
Your
So I
house.
think he was saying in your house, right?
Oh.
Okay.
En tu casa, cabrón. ¿Dónde
So-
está la biblioteca?
But if he just got done kicking Jannetty's ass, why is
Right.
he in the back? Is he just getting some laps in?
I think Savio Vega is addicted to kicking ass.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Now you're getting it. And he even says he's going to whip that stinky cowboy's butt.
Yeah, I didn't mind this match actually. You know, Sir I almost called him Sir Harvey Whippleman for some reason.
Close.
So Sir Harvey, it takes him a little while to get get the strap on. Oh yeah. But
who's Sir Harvey? Is it
the official
Sav?
man?
Oh, I didn't even notice it was Harv's.
Yeah.
But kind of nice to see a strap match actually. And we're told Savio's, the best at it. So I mean, if we're gonna have a strap match, might as well have
Undefeated.
the best out there,
Wow. Yeah.
And
Do you suppose it's the Caribbean strap is different than the Yapapi strap?
That's a good question.
I bet it's a question of like length,
Okay.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And girth,
Yeah.
maybe, of the
Okay.
strap.
What is a Yapapi? Is that like a ethnicity or is that like a tree?
I believe it's an Indian tribe.
Oh, Yapapi.
I think
I
it's a
see.
town.
Have you ever heard of the legend of Fallen Rock from the Yapapi Indian tribe?
No, why don't you fill me in?
Oh man, so hard times fell into the Yapapi tribe years ago, and they chose one of their bravest and strongest members of the tribe to go out and to hunt down a kill, right, for the tribe, for the food. People were starving, and he went out, and he never returned. And they looked for him, and they looked for him, and they looked for him, and to this day, from time to time, you'll even see on the side of a road a sign that says "Watch for Fallen Rock."
Is that a joke? I don't know how to take that.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
well, well,
Should
I'm
we end it on a
enriched.
high note here, guys?
That's a way better joke than you fuckers gave it credit for.
let's I couldn't even tell if that was a joke or if that was just a serious story.
Oh, gotcha. He doesn't get the jokes.
Yeah. Well, I bet you Justin Hawk Bradshaw would probably throw some rocks on some people, huh? You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I will, so like Savio sprints to the ring before he even gets strapped on. Oh yeah. And but Justin Hawk Bradshaw, no, he puts the whipping to old Savio Vega. I mean, there's something a little bit unsettling about watching a big cowboy whip a Puerto Rican in the middle of the ring, but I don't know. But regardless, rules here, you got to touch all 4 buckles, like yada, yada, yada. I will say Savio and Stone Cold had a terrific strap match at 2 In Your Houses before this. So it wasn't even that long. It was probably like 3 months before this.
Is that the one where the lights went out?
Yes.
Yes.
That was this match when I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is fine. It wasn't quite as good as the Stone Cold one. But really the match is kind of secondary to what happens here. So they're fighting outside. Both are strapped up. They're doing the deal where they're doing the tug of war, whipping each other into the ring post and whatnot. And then a fan ringside spits his beer in the face of Savio, a man who is in the front row, a man that is quite sandy. If you catch my drift, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy.
Shandy. And another guy who has dreams of spitting his beer. He's a dreamer. Tommy Dreamer and Sandman are in the front row, starting a kerfuffle of sorts, mid-match, trying to hop the barricade, trying to get over. I don't know what the hostility is here. Maybe just try to make a name for themselves, but I had no idea. So I've heard of the ECW invasion of WWF. I've seen clips of Rob Van Dam and Sabu and stuff. wrestling on Raw, but I had no idea how it got started or when it got started. So when I was watching this, I was genuinely like, oh shit, what the fuck? Why are they here? So I thought this was pretty cool. What'd you guys make of this?
So they had already been on Raw prior to this, I believe.
If they have, I missed it.
I'm pretty sure.
Possible.
I'm pretty sure. The big takeaway for me is that Sandman's smoking in the audience.
Yeah, man, it's the 90s.
Well, yeah, but I believe there's probably more than one other cigarette smoker in the audience. You would think that if smoking was allowed in the venue, that other people would be smoking. And since I saw nobody else smoking in the venue, obviously, I mean, right away, it's a plant, right? Clearly, it's a plant. You got to craft your plants a little better than that, right? Just a little bit. If they wanted him to believe that he's actually there, right? That they actually bought tickets and actually sat ringside, you can't have him smoking a smoke.
You know who they are, but you don't know why they're here, man. He's here to smoke and drink, I guess.
Is that what this is? Is this kind of a retaliation to the NWO, maybe? Or is it just something else entirely, do you think?
Well, what about the guy who came and was trying to give it to Euchre with he was smoking? You remember that?
Yeah, but that was in fucking 88, man.
So you're thinking 96 probably smoking ban?
Probably, man. Probably have at least in the arenas.
Yeah, maybe Philly has different rules. You know, they tend to be a little looser. I don't know if that's true. That's probably not true.
Okay.
They get a good reaction though. Lots of love there in the hometown.
Yeah, kind of shows where ECW is at this point. I mean, they're still kind of building up. I mean, you guys have been along for where they are at this time period ish, so they're still kind of figuring things out. But they've cultivated a following, and especially, I mean, they're in Philly, so if there's any place they're going to get a reaction, it's here. So, but yeah, I mean, cool moment. Obviously, they eventually get handled and taken out, I would assume. But the match continues, and Savio hits his spinning heel kick, touches two corners, but then just gets hilariously thwarted by Bradshaw. Just rips his arm off.
Does a fucking helicopter spin.
Savio knows how to.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he knows how to get strapped. Yeah. Bradshaw with a clothesline from hell, and then begins to touch the buckles. But old Savio, again, he's the master of this match type. Whenever Bradshaw will touch a corner, Savio will touch it behind him, unbeknownst to Justin Hawk. And they're at a point where they both have 3 buckles touched. And then they're fighting for the 4th one, and Bradshaw yanks him, and then Savio leaps over him and touches the 4th one and wins. So SV coming out with the win here, remains undefeated in the Caribbean strap match. But yeah, I would say the ECW presence maybe overshadowed this, at least to me, but I thought it was solid.
See, and I thought that the ECW presence was minor enough where it took, and they did it early enough in the match where it took away early focus to the ECW guys, and then they ushered them away, and then you kind of drive focus back to the match itself. So I didn't feel that it was overshadowed. The one thing that I loved in this match was when Savio's on the offense and he starts whipping Bradshaw. Bradshaw turns and Savio whips him right in the fucking face, and it was fucking beautiful, man. Like you've been whipped before, I'm sure. Yeah, come on, are you kidding me?
I mean, yeah, but I don't appreciate the assumption.
Well, no, I know a guy that's been whipped when I see him.
Okay.
So, and he's getting whipped, and he turns, and that motherfucker right in the face. And I've never been whipped in the face, but I can only imagine. I know the pain of a ball sack, so a face. That's gonna be
like a ball sack whipping you in the face.
No, not a ball sack whipping me in the. You ever been whipped in the sack?
Probably.
Yeah, we all have. It's okay, man.
Yeah, you get a stray bullet every now and then.
Yeah, who are you here to impress? So, yeah, you get whipped in the face, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, we get a classic JR. He's getting whipped like a government mule.
Oh, did he throw one of those out there? I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah.
You think maybe this is his first time because it's literal whipping? Maybe it's when he creates that saying, perhaps.
What did he say in the Austin match?
He probably did.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. It's a good point.
So I'm not one to question the master of the, Caribbean strap match, but Savio was touching corners with his foot.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, they didn't specify. They didn't say you have to touch it with your hand.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't a Caribbean strap match, but I know the bull rope match. When Eddie Guerrero lost the title to JBL, which maybe he learned. I guess he learned his lesson from this match. He won by his back touching the fourth corner. So we'd have to consult the rule book, but I believe any limb, any appendage is fair game, I would say. But speaking of appendage, we got a couple limbs here in this next match. We got old Jim Cornette versus Jose Lothario. So
why?
Well, you pose a good question, Duker. So this is kind of, I guess, like an offshoot of the Shawn and Vader match, which happened at the prior pay-per-view. Obviously, Jim is with Vader. Jose is with Shawn for whatever reason. I mean, I understand he was his Jose is Shawn's trainer, but I don't understand why Jose is still hanging around with Shawn at this point.
They brought him. They brought him in to try and help straighten Shawn out.
Oh, like backstage type stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't need to be on screen, but is he there maybe to like provide some sort of sympathetic value because Shawn is just so hateable looking? Maybe you throw old Jose Lothario out there. He's like, oh, maybe he's not such a bad guy. No. Or is he just out there for shits and giggles? Maybe. Yeah, just yeah.
Man, I was thinking about this. It's easy to be like critical of HBK because not nearly as good of a face as he was a heel. But it's got to be easier to be a heel. Like I've heard that before, and probably more fun too. So, I mean, I guess I cut him a little bit of slack there because, I mean, he was always a great heel, but just as a face guy, I think that's why Jose was brought in on screen, to help with the being a sympathetic face type of figure, but
yeah,
I could have done with any of those dark matches in place of this one.
How old? Right? So just how old would you guys guess Jim Cornette is here at this point?
I looked this up. I'm actually older than Cornette was here.
Oh, really?
Well,
yeah.
I was going to guess 34.
35.
Yeah.
34. 34, 35. I didn't check the actual date, but
okay.
But yeah, he's for whatever reason I expected him to be older, but I guess this is,
the
30 years ago.
Motherfucker comes out and he looks like a black lab's dick.
How dare you?
That motherfucker, are you kidding me? You saw him, right?
I did.
Yeah. And he's wearing black bottoms and he's got that big dog dick red top on. He does.
Vader red.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's Vader red. I'm a big Vader fan. I know Vader red when I see it. That's dog dick red.
Dog dick red, you say?
I think it was Mr. Perfect who said it looks like he's wearing an old pair of Yokozuna's tights.
He said they were looking snug on him, which is that's very rude. That's very rude. But maybe Cornette didn't have the physique of a god or anything, but Super Sock, Jose Lothario. I mean, what are we thinking, gang? Not bad, right? Not bad.
He looks put together. He really does.
He looks like, the most in shape uncle at a barbecue,
God, accurate. Yeah. And I love the Super Sock name, right? Which is kind of like Duke's got a couple Super Socks. I know they stand up by themselves. Yeah.
I was going to ask what a Super Sock was, but I think you just answered it for me.
Oh, man. Well, so yeah, he's 62 here, Mr. Super Sock.
Yeah, I mean not looking like it.
Yeah, he's yeah. I mean, what's he finish him off with the jab or something? Not much here, really.
No, it's not much. I do want to get back into what is did anybody get to the bottom of why they call him Super Sock? Is he just covered in jizz?
I think so. Let me confirm.
Inside and out.
He does. Okay, that's very rude. What? Not super cock. What is a super sock? I think they're just socks.
Interesting.
Interesting. Well, we'll have to dig into this. What the hell is this? It's like, do you hit somebody with it? Like a beanbag? Looks like a beanbag hacky sack type of thing, maybe. I don't know. Somebody call in if you know.
I might have just come to the bottom of it here, guys.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Come in my bottom.
When you sock somebody, you punch them.
Yep.
He punched Cornette for the win, right?
Okay.
There it is.
That's it.
So
That's probably his finisher, man. The super sock.
super.
Ow.
So he has
He
regular
is-
socks.
He is the super sock.
Oh.
Right.
So wouldn't every punch be a super sock?
Right.
So Jim Cornette just ate a few super socks.
Right. Couple super socks.
You could take a few super socks.
Super soccer too.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he took a few. I don't think he really dished out anything, did he, James?
Yeah, besides a sincere lack of offense from old Corny here. I was looking forward to see maybe what his finish was. If he might throw out a snapmare, maybe a enziguri of some sorts, but no. He was all show, no go, this Cornette, because Super Sock just, like you said, just jabbed him a few times, maybe a shoulder block or two, beat him down the corner, and just kind of punched him and pinned him. It was short and sweet.
It was fucking beautiful, though. I think the match actually was less than a minute. And he hits him with the super sock. And he looks to the crowd and he goes, "One more!" And fucking nobody says a goddamn thing.
Everybody's like,
Nope.
no, just
Everybody's
fucking
like,
end it.
just, we don't need more. We don't need more. Just get that dog dick out of the ring. And then he picks the dog dick up and he punches the dog dick again.
Just
He gets
beat
on
that
top of
dog
it.
dick off, huh?
He gets on top of that dog dick, and Corny can't beat him off. So there we go.
I mean, I know that, the Heartbreak's got a big title defense later on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jose would have benefited immensely from having Heartbreak out there.
That's
Right.
true. Jose's out there for all Sean's matches. Why aren't we doing a vice versa?
He doesn't have that type of reload.
Well, who does,
That's what I'm saying.
Because, at least from you know what I'm saying? At least from getting the crowd into it, if each of these guys had one of their guys out there, it would have been a little something more,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I don't know.
No, I think we just need them. We need them to settle their score mano y mano,
Right.
as what happened. I do like just one more thing on this match because we don't need to fucking dig too deep into it. I love the entrances, how they just used their guys' music. So Cornette comes out to Vader's music, and Jose Super Sock comes out to Sexy Boy, which as advertised. Am I right or am I wrong, gang?
Clearly.
Yeah,
Super sexy boy.
that's something. Print a
He looks,
t-shirt.
he does look like the most jacked like uncle at the barbecue. He's also like looks like the uncle you want to go like parents are going out of town. Which uncle you want to go to? Like I want to go to Uncle Jose's because it looks like he doesn't give a fuck what you do.
Oh man, no, he'll smoke a cigarette while you're playing video games in front of him. He'll let you eat ice cream for dinner.
Yeah,
Gotta
Probably
love him.
steal your girlfriend.
Probably.
will.
All right.
Yeah, I've seen
Sexy
that
boy
video.
Jose.
Speaking of stealing your girlfriend, we got a couple girlfriends here, Sable and Sunny, and they're accompanying their men. So we got Sable with Johnny Be Bad. We got Sunny with Farouk. Both Johnny and Farouk are on the Superstar line. Do you guys ever call the Superstar line?
I did not.
I wish I could say I did,
Do you?
but that $149 a minute, that was,
It's a steep price. Yeah.
on a $5 a week allowance back in the day, might have been worth saving.
We
for
could
to
have
get
saved
takes.
up, man. Yeah, we could have put her on speakerphone.
But we had
We could have put her on speakerphone. You and I could have gone back to back. It's cool. We're just friends.
The old back to back.
Yep.
Couple bros hanging out.
man, I do gotta. Just split the charges then, you suppose?
Well, it just
Yeah.
depends. I mean, well, that's the problem. Like, if one of us is done before the other one, like, who picks up the money on the tablet? Right?
And do you stay there? Do
Yeah, it's like when you go out to eat with a couple of friends, you order a giant pizza. You got to start doing pizza math, right? And you're like, wait a second. I had one piece, and I'm still putting in my portion of the bill. That doesn't feel right, right? So if I'm already done, right, I really only need to give you back like $1.40, right?
Well, I think that's on you if you finish too fast. You got to pace yourself a little bit.
You don't have to. You're paying for this, man. You want to get out of there.
Well, maybe you want to enjoy it.
Plus, I'm back to back with Duke.
How about this? First one to finish pays.
Oh,
I like that.
yeah. Or maybe
Problem
last
solved.
one. Because otherwise, I think you would just be it'd be like a, up and down, up and down. It would go on forever, I think.
Last
We could test it out.
last to finish pays.
Yeah. Because you want to have the incentive to finish first. It's like a race. It's like soggy waffle. You ever play soggy waffle?
Nah, in my
No.
day we had cracker, but that's just me.
Oh, same applies,
Yeah, I think
Tomato,
so.
tomato, waffle cracker. But yeah. Intercontinental title is on the line the next night after you jack off to these guys and or whatever you do on the phone. But hey, here's Brian Pillman walking out here, the loose cannon. He's so in the lead up to this show on the Raws and whatnot, he's been saying that he's bringing Bret Hart back to the WWF. So Bret has been away since WrestleMania, so like Marchish, April, and we're in September or something. So he's been gone for a while. I don't know if he was doing Lonesome Dove or whatever the hell, but so Brian Pillman's, I guess his tie, he was in the Hart Dungeon, right?
Yep.
Well, Pilser.
Yep.
So I guess that's his tie-in, and Owen Hart's kind of in on it too. But then Bret Hart sent in a pre-tape on Raw and called Brian Pillman a liar, and he says he's not showing up. And then now Pillman's out here, Owen's out here. They're like, well, Bret's just scared to come back. And you know why he's scared? He's scared of Stone Cold Steve Austin, which I guess the tie-in is that Bret left around the time Stone Cold got there, but not really. It was like a few months after.
This was fucking beautiful, man. Like
Yeah,
Owen.
you liked it?
Oh, it was Owen calling Pillman Pill. Right.
That's
I started laughing right there. And then when they said
Same.
he's scared and Pill says he's scared of him, and Owen cuts him off. He's like, no. He's not. He's scared of me. He's a little scared of me, but he's a lot scared of Austin. I'm going, this is fucking like it doesn't feel like that. Obviously anything is scripted, right? At all.
Mhm.
And for Owen to come out there and be like that heelish, like comedy spin on it, which I don't know if it was meant to be hilarious or not, but right away from him calling him Pill to being like, no. Well, he's a little scared of me, but he's a lot like fucking genius, man.
Organically funny, Owen
Yes,
was.
yes,
God damn, man.
absolutely.
This segment really got the train back on the tracks for me. After that last match, if you want to call it that. This was very entertaining. I mean,
Yeah.
at the time, Owen is only the one-time Slammy Award winner, but he's always entertaining. I loved when he called him Pill too. And then a really kind of bizarre sort of deal when Austin comes out, because he's still got that Ringmaster music.
Yeah.
You
He is stone cold at this point. He's doing the stunner. He's finally got the goatee and all that. He looks like Stone Cold, but to your point, it's odd seeing him with just the generic music behind him, like the Dungeon of Doom almost esque music.
That was kind of dungeon-ish, the $1 million.
There's nothing wrong with the Dungeon of Doom.
All right, take it easy. You don't need to get hot. I'm a big fan of the Leprechaun as well. But yeah, this kind of, huh?
Oh, I was just gonna say we got that classic. You put an S in front of Hitman. That's what I think about Bret Hart bit.
So good. He calls him a chicken shit, but he's just, what were the words he said? He's like, you're not a chicken, you're the gooey substance that comes out of a chicken's ass.
Yeah, was it the slimy excrement?
He's a wordsmith, this
He
Steve
is.
Austin. But yeah, really kicking off this what would go on to be a legendary feud between Bret and Austin, which is interesting given this at the time. I mean, this almost seems like a throwaway segment, but it would really kick off. This is huge for Austin at this point because after King of the Ring, he kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit, but it seems like we're already building to him versus Hitman. So it's some pretty edgy stuff too. I mean, we're a couple minutes after Savio called Bradshaw a stinky, stupid cowboy. And now Austin's out here calling Bret a shit man and saying, I'm going to whip your ass kind of thing. So that's good. Man. Good stuff, right?
I love the closing part. Austin belts out as Austin 316. And then I think the music hits and then Pillman wanting to get the last word in. He's like, Philly sucks because I said so.
By the way, your city's not. Yeah. By the way, Owen running down Philly before at the beginning and classic stuff. But speaking of Philly, Mark Henry's here. We get a little. What's wrong? What's wrong, Duke?
Oh man, he's stroking the Liberty Bell. What you guys think of that?
My note here is Mark Henry touches various things in Philly. That's all I had.
I got Henry taking in Philly, but in my mind, it's so fucking weird because I don't know. He might be a bit of a historian, right? He might love history, but all I can think of is they're shooting him in front of the Liberty Bell, and then he's going, "Hey, where's that cheesesteak place?" Then they're shooting him in front of another marker. He's going, "Hey, where's that cheesesteak place?" And they're shooting him in front of another place. He goes, "Hey, where's that cheesesteak place?"
They gotta be everywhere, right?
Right?
Why is he having such a problem finding the cheesesteak in Philly?
Right. And then the other thing I thought, Mark Henry's a legit strong man.
Yeah.
Do you think that he could rip the rest of the Liberty Bell in half?
That's a good question. I mean, it's already partially ripped, right? So maybe it started.
Yeah.
Threads are unraveling.
Right.
That's got to be a big time felony, right?
I don't know. Is it?
Is it against the rule?
That might be a capital case, right? The Liberty Bell, man.
It's already cracked,
Right.
It's already damaged goods.
Exactly.
He was a strong guy, though. I wouldn't put it past him. I don't know the dimensions of the Liberty Bell, but
look pretty big.
I do know that for real, he held several deadlift records back in the day. So he was a legit tough guy or strong guy, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But what do you think he got on that horse? He's a pretty big man.
Horse. Maybe the horse got on him.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Are there weight limits to horses? You guys ride horses. You guys are kind of out there in horse land, right?
Not really. No.
Well, you don't have the Siberian whatever the fucks.
Yeah, we had Siberian whatever the fucks. They trot. Yeah. No, I don't. I have been on one horse in my life. Yes.
Thoughts?
Not a fan. Not
scared of them. Scared of horses.
No, not scared of them, man. They stink. Horses, they smell fucking terrible.
It's probably because they come a lot. Have you ever seen Jackass where they eat horse semen or drink it, I guess? Or eat it. I don't know what the discussion is.
I might have seen that one, yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah. You can fill a whole one of those big jugs that you put coins in.
Coin jug.
Coin jug.
Gotcha.
Coin jug of cum.
Didn't go with the 2 gallon of milk or anything. You went with coin jug.
That's my go-to container.
Cum filler. Gotcha.
Speaking of cum filler, we got Sonny out here with Bart Gunn and Billy Gunn. The Smoking Guns are here. Howdy, howdy. They are defending their tag team titles against Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. Of course, we got Clarence Mason out there with them, because why wouldn't you? First of all, I don't know why Owen left the ring. He was already in the ring, but he goes back to make his entrance. It's a whole thing. And then the Guns come out, and they do the whole thing because there was Sonny, and then they'll unveil this backdrop, this huge canvas that generally has a very tawdry image of Sonny. But these scoundrels, they graffitied, they put a little mustache on her, a little Hitler stash, some glasses or whatnot. Yeah. Thoughts on this presentation, I guess, in the beginning.
You can do that when you got a good lawyer in your corner, I think.
Yeah, Clarence Mason's the guy to go to for this.
Right.
Clarence is pretty entertaining out there. Pretty animated guy.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad.
That was good.
But right away with this one, I didn't know who I was supposed to cheer for.
Yeah,
right?
No, that was my thought too. 2 heel teams.
Yeah, it's weird to see. It's weird to see 2 heel teams in this era. Like it just doesn't feel right at all. And I think as time went on, it felt like a portion of the crowd definitely got behind the Guns, but then another portion of the crowd definitely got behind Owen and Davey. Like it was a weird split, and by doing that, I don't think they really got much reaction either way from the crowd, which is a little bit disappointing because for what it was, I didn't think it was a bad match.
No, yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think they just kind of went out there and just listened to the crowd and kind of went accordingly, or because it kind of seems like they were almost taking turns being heel and face in this one?
It did feel like that. It did. The best. I'm just gonna skip right to what I thought was the best part of the match for me, at least. They're working the leg, right? Working whose leg was it? It was Bart's. Yes, working Bart's part of the leg, and then Bulldog is working. I think it's the right. And he tags Owen in, and Owen immediately goes and starts working the left, which is, to me, I was like, oh, this is fucking genius. He's taken out both legs now. Both legs are done. But it took about 30 to 40 seconds. He's like, oh, shit, that's right. Other side of the leg. And he goes back to working the other leg. No, man. Chop the entire tree down. Work both the legs. Why not?
That's a good point. You don't really see that a lot.
Never.
They usually just target one side, one limb. But yeah. Take the whole bottom out.
Right. If he's already limping on one leg, your work's almost done. You start working on the other leg. You ever seen a man with 2 limps?
That's a good question.
I've seen a man with a wheelchair.
Yeah.
There you go.
About 3 limbs.
Man with the wheelchair ain't kicking out.
No, I don't think so.
It's a beautiful thing when you see him, taking out a leg. When they did the switcheroo there, I mean, maybe it's just because I wanted to see him kick Bart in the balls, but that's what I wrote. Just kicked him right in the package 3 times, but I'm pretty sure he was kicking his other leg. But whatever,
love a good Nards plow.
You can dream.
But yeah, no, it was a fine match. It was legs, third legs, all that stuff. Ultimately, Bart gets shoved into Billy, and then Billy shoves Bart back. Stupid ass names. And then Bart gets power slammed by the British Bulldog. Meanwhile, Owen takes out Billy so that he can't break up the pin. So the Bulldog pins Bart, and we got new tag team champions, Bulldog and Owen.
All right, I'm going to slide one more thing about this match in.
Slide it in.
Mason and Sonny pounding the mat in fucking unison.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
What the fuck are we? What? What do you? Okay, first of all, you're both fucking heels, right? Why are you pounding the mat? To get the crowd going? It makes
they're trying to get their guys into and trying to make
both of them at the same time.
They're both heels. They both make the comeback at the same time. Double come.
No double. Well, you can, but I just don't think that's proper. You can't do that. That's not proper.
I mean, it's probably harder to go out of unison than to do in unison. You guys play instruments.
It's not harder at all.
You
think to play offbeat on purpose?
You can play offbeat on purpose. Yeah.
You think they go back and forth? Maybe have see who's got the crowd support.
They just end up doing like a stomp routine.
Right.
Just a whole song. Right. Yeah.
God, that would be awesome.
I'd
watch a Sonny stomp routine this time. Well, Tony Atlas, if you know.
Oh yeah. I got to say, Billy. Billy's got like a thing with Sonny here, and he's kind of becoming a moody bitch.
Do you blame him?
Well, I think he may have ruined whatever he was cultivating with Sonny because, they lose the match, the Guns do. And Sonny grabs the mic, starts berating Bart and Billy. says that you're just a bunch of cowboy wannabes. And then she says that they're fired from her services.
She is such a dumbass.
Seems a bit extreme after one loss. You're gonna fire them?
Well, and she says in this fucking, well, she's screaming at him, making them feel like shit. She says, you could have been champions. They fucking were champions, dumbass. You could have been What the fuck do you think they just lost?
But they still could be champions.
Yes, they still could be champions. And then wannabe cowboys. Did she not see any of their vignettes when they were riding to the World Wrestling Federation?
They went to rodeo school.
They went to rodeo school.
Did they?
They probably had decent grades, maybe not straight A students, but they were in the meaty part of the curve. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So she must be putting all her balls in Farouk's basket, huh?
I don't know, man. I've seen some videos. I don't think she's got balls to put in a basket.
Well, I know she was at this time. She was doing the thing where she was hopping around the whole tag division.
She was hopping around everything.
Gotta get a little taste, a little buffet action. Taste a little Godwins, a little Body Donnas. I mean, she's carrying that tag division on her back. Is she gonna go with Techno Team 2000 after this, or what's happening?
Not the only thing she's carrying.
What else? What else is she carrying?
Chlamydia.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. At the very least.
Maybe a little herp.
Herp action. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Think Kevin Kelly has herpes?
Nah.
Yeah, he's probably clean as a whistle.
I think so.
Oh, he says he's in the bowels.
No, Kevin Kelly in the bowels.
I'm back here in an ass.
He's in the bowels with old Paul Bearer and Mankind. I guess they live in the bowels. And just hype it up the main event. Of course, Mankind challenging for the world title. Says it's his destiny. I mean, Paul Bearer speaking. This was particularly jarring. I don't know. It was just very loud and high pitched all at once. And the whole package with Mankind. I mean, I thought it worked though. I love the presentation. I thought this version of Mankind or this version of Mick Foley genuinely felt unhinged, and I thought it was pretty good stuff. I mean, we'll talk more about the match obviously when it comes, but what'd you guys think of this presentation from old Micker?
So presentation is great, but again, we're going to suspend our disbelief, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mankind is who we believe Mankind to be. We're just supposed to believe that he knows the location of every boiler room in every fucking arena he goes to. Like that's even back then when I was younger, I was like, God, why does he just go to the boiler room every time? Like every fucking time it's go to the boiler room. And how does he know where to get there? And usually you have to have you get a set of janitor's keys to get in there.
Have you ever looked for a boiler room?
Have I ever looked for one?
Yeah.
No, never needed to.
Maybe it's easier than you think.
If it was that easy, I would have found one without looking.
Probably once you find one, you find them all, right? They're all in the bowels.
Oh,
maybe instead of a dressing room, he just requests the boiler room. Right?
Probably just sniffs out the bowels.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Man, there's one line where Paul Bearer blames the creatures of the night for turning on The Undertaker. Oh, yeah. But
yes, we are...
I like it, though. I like the, whenever they had Mankind in the dimly lit areas, it was always kind of creepy. I was about 10 at this time. I remember this stuff live. I remember watching the, super pixelated, shows that were in syndication on the weekends at this time. So it's kind of
shit. This dark ass bowels in a fucking tube TV. Couldn't see. You could only hear it.
I kind of wonder how we got by back in the day. You know what I'm talking about over there, Rogue, with the...
Why, because I'm the oldest guy on the panel? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Holding the old antenna to get the... Oh, yeah.
I watched a few box TVs. I've watched a few pay-per-views through the... What do you call it? The smoke, not the smoke. Static. The little...
Oh, yeah?
You're talking about titties?
Yeah, you watched through the titties?
Gotcha.
Yeah. At least that's what my uncle taught me. So we got, speaking of titties,
Jose.
How dare you? This guy Not one titty to be had. That's guy's
It's
all
like
muscle.
you can watch the pay-per-view, but you have to do it through my titties.
Well, your titties are your puppies. Speaking of puppies, we got Jerry the King Lawler taking on a debuting Mark Henry. What do we think about Mark Henry's gear here?
He looks like a cast off from American Gladiators.
Did you know that he's American?
I heard that. Yeah.
I mean, his fondness for the Liberty Bell should have been your first clue, but he comes out here in a red, white, and blue singlet of sorts. I think he even comes out to the what was the music? Help me out.
What was
Hum
the
it for
fuck?
me? I was about to do British Bulldogs theme with it. Exactly. That's exactly how it
I think
came
we
out.
nailed it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
either that
yeah.
one or the Angle song, right? It's got to be.
Yeah, it wasn't Kurtz. It was, the
no.
fucking generic, America and shit, right? But he comes out there, he's sprinting, he's smiley. It's just funny to see this version of Mark Henry, but coming off of the Olympics, I think, right? Didn't he win he didn't win a gold medal. I think he won like a silver, bronze.
No, he didn't win shit.
Yeah, he did.
He did not.
That's what Vince McMahon told me.
No, he didn't even fucking place.
How dare you? Hold on. That
I'm
can't be
pretty
true.
sure he was like
Mark?
18th or something like that.
Okay, well, what place for you, bitch? Snatch. He's
He
known for
won,
his
like,
snatch.
The I don't know, the Pan American Games or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's not an Olympic gold medal winner.
But he did hold the
Yeah.
record for
he held
lifting
a-
stuff for a while.
Yeah, but he didn't even make the podium at the Olympics.
Okay, hold on. He won golds at the 1993-94 Olympic Festival.
The
Oh.
festival, right? Festival.
He won 3 medals. Doesn't say what kind of medals. He won medals at the Pan American Games.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
I think that's about it. He's done
Yeah.
some strongman stuff.
Does it-
Even
does-
after this.
Does it have his little gimmick about the Olympics in there? You see it?
Yeah, the Olympic Festival.
Yeah, the
I told
festival, not the Olympics.
What do you know about the festival?
I don't know shit about the Olympic festival.
Yeah, Mark Henry does. It's very prestigious. You see.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Well,
Alright.
you and Jerry Lawler are on the same wavelength because Lawler doesn't respect his accomplishments. Says that, oh, you might be very strong, but you're not a wrestler. And I'm gonna show you how to wrestle, is what Jerry Lawler says here. I guess they had like some sort of debate on the free for all, from what I could gather. They were both at like a podium facing each other. You guys ever seen this, or did you catch it? No.
I remember it happening, but I don't remember anything about it.
Man, I love when Jerry the King comes out with the mic talking trash. I was hoping that he would commentate his match. Seen him do
Yes.
that a couple times.
Yep.
One of the greatest bits ever. He says he hates the Olympics, and what does he say? The only reason he tuned in was to see if the synchronized swimmers would die in unison. Yes,
Fucking
Just
great line.
good stuff.
What a weird thing to hate. The Olympics? Like, how do you have a negative? I don't know. I don't
What's so great about the Olympics?
I mean, I can understand being indifferent on the Olympics, but like, fuck these trapeze artists or whatever. Whatever you do. These curlers, I hate them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Take them out.
Called being a great heel right there.
Oh, yeah.
Let
Calling
me
us
ask you
peons.
this.
Hmm?
Serious question, guys.
Yeah?
Should they have given Mark Henry a 2x4?
2x4. Yeah.
That's kind of the
Yeah.
all-American prop, right?
They could have had his own bus. Could have been the Mark Express.
Yeah, it could have been. Could have ridden the horse. Could have ridden the horse. Put a flag on the horse.
The Steed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have Paul revered that shit to the ring.
Could have wore a boa. Ripped his shirt when he got in the ring, maybe.
That would work.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to help out Mark here because I don't think that this served him very well for very long.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I had one problem with this. This is a big problem. Ultimately, the match was fine. I mean, it wasn't. They kept it simple. Just Mark doing big strongman things, body slam. Like Jerry goes for a scoop slam on him, but Mark counters into a gorilla press, tosses him to the outside. There's a few bumps Jerry takes to the outside that look pretty brutal. He was doing whatever he could to get this guy over, but the finish is a Canadian backbreaker rack. So it's like the torture rack, but you turn it 90 degrees, and that's I don't know who originated this move, but it's a Canadian rack.
Yeah.
Canadian of all the moves, like do a regular torture rack, Lex Luger, do a Olympic American torture Boston Crab, you know, American, right?
Okay.
That was my only thought. I didn't like the finish, but Mark Henry wins. Looks fine, I guess, coming out of this, but I don't think he really stuck around too much longer, at least for a little bit, from my understanding. But
so it makes sense for Jerry to do the job, but I was really hoping that Jerry would have went over, especially after he did that nut scent punch. That would have worked for me.
Yeah.
It just because I mean, he reached down there, and I loved it. Right, he reached down there, and all he was doing was cupping his balls. Right, he was getting in there. He might have been getting in the gooch. Right.
Oh yeah.
Bring it back up. Now it's a real super sock kind of a punch, right? He hits one of those Uncle JL punches, fist covered in nut scent. Pow! Kai! Right? Down he goes. I thought that should have been the finish. But the best part is that he takes that nut scent and he puts it back.
The nut scent.
Yeah.
He says, I'm unfamiliar with the nut scent, but I like it. I like the words you're laying on me.
I don't believe for a fucking minute that you're not familiar with the nut scent.
Like the literal nut scent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not see that? He reached in down, got his hand all down on the nuts, right? Got the hand all rubbed up.
No. Okay,
bring it back up. Kapow!
I don't know if the scent was
scent punch.
Was the instrument of destruction in that case.
Put the scent back.
But I also don't know, because it was just a white object of some sort. Pull it out of his sack, which I guess added power to his punch. I don't know. But I guess maybe it was the scent. You know, if we don't know what it is, maybe it was just the scent of his nuts. Jerry Lawler probably has a pretty pungent perineum area. So I would assume.
Well, it wasn't enough to put away Big Mark Henry.
Apparently not. It was a miscalculation on his part. You know, so Henry's seen this before. He's been here before. But yeah, I thought I don't know. I thought the match
Sexual
was
chocolate, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he's what you got there? Yeah. No, let's see it.
Then bring it back up. Punch.
The fact that Larry Zbyszko's there just in the background just makes all the sense in the world.
He's pleased.
You putting your scent all over Larry Legend over there?
He's cool with that. He's cool with it.
Yeah, that's fine. But we're not done here, fellas, because I know what you're thinking. Like, that match is fine, but this needs a little something. It needs a little new rockers. Well, lucky for you, they're here. They stormed the ring. Why? I don't know. They don't like Mark Henry, I guess. They try to do the old Pearl Harbor job, but Marty Jannetty's running a bit late. So stupid ass Leaf Cassidy just gets in there and just gets shit canned. Marty gets in there, same with him, and then old Hunter Hearst Helmsley gets in there to try to tackle the big man, but he also gets dispatched rather easily. Interesting seeing Triple H just as like jobber fodder here, but yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, very simple, this whole thing, I guess, ultimately, but I don't know if Mark really lived up to the to what they thought he would be, at least at this point, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't catch on until what, like, was it almost 10 years later?
Yeah, I mean, they did the whole Nation of Domination thing, but he was, a supporting cast member in that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I would not have predicted that he would have had a 25-year run.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, especially with the start like this. But I don't think we see him for a while. Maybe until they do the Nation bit.
Yeah, I think there is like a break in between his appearances, but I'll throw this one at you. So we're in '96, the Olympics. '96, little gentleman named Kurt Angle won a gold medal in the Olympics. Do you think maybe their discovery of Kurt Angle maybe halted the push of Mark Henry here? Because, we have this Olympic guy that's probably going to be better than this guy, so I'll shove this guy and we'll do a whole thing with him. Do you think that impacted it at all?
No, man. If anything, I think it would have been more cause for concern to bring Kurt in.
Oh, yeah.
Because, Henry's he's their Olympian, and look at what he's doing. He's eating the shit. And then like, oh, we got another guy who's an Olympian. They're like, well, look at the guy
Right.
that we brought in that's a fucking Olympian. He eats a shit. We don't need two guys in the back eating a shit.
They only have so much shit to eat.
Exactly.
They've had a few Olympians in the past, Kenny Patera, Iron Sheik, Bad News Brown.
Kenny Patera's dog shit.
How dare you?
I bet Henry broke Patera's weightlifting record.
He breaks his fucking neck.
How dare you?
Well,
I've met Kenny Patera.
Speaking of the broken neck, Mr. Kurt Angle won that gold medal with the broken neck.
I heard that once.
I heard that. I did.
Yeah.
I think he mentioned it.
I guess it was like 3 years until Kurt Angle debuted, so maybe at least they were hesitant on him. But
And from what I recall, Kurt knocked it out of the park right away.
Yep.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess maybe they figured that recruiting a wrestlers they'd have a little better luck than a power lifter.
Yeah.
No, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, they probably put the old final curtain on that concept. But hey, speaking of which, we got a final curtain match, fellas. The Undertaker versus Goldust. Remind me, what are the rules of a final curtain match?
I don't know.
I don't think anybody does. It's my understanding that it was at least no DQ, but the match did not suggest that.
Right.
This reminded me of a lot of matches that we've covered in the past couple of years.
Yep.
We're led to believe that it's like an no holds barred type of thing, right? With a name like a final curtain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But right away, you see the referee counting them out, fucking breaking holds, doing all those things that we love.
I fucking hate it, man.
But you know what I do kind of love, which I think would have lasted. I would have liked to have seen it last a little bit longer. Was that alliance with Goldust and Mankind? Pretty twisted
Yeah.
little alliance there.
Mankind and his mommy.
Yeah, they got the cover of WWF magazine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Was that the old Goldust licking Mankind's ear deal? Or was it
I
something else?
think he was holding like his head, right? He was like petting him in the cover, I believe.
Oh yeah. Because
Yeah.
lately, I think Mankind's been showing up through the ring
Yes. Yeah. So
and whatnot.
we're in the midst of the Undertaker and Mankind feud, but this is kind of just like a side quest kind of thing because Mankind's in the main event fighting for the title. So Undertaker is like, oh, I guess if I'm not booked, I might as well take out his compadre Goldust in a final curtain match. And so in your house 8, Goldust actually beat the Undertaker in a casket match due to the help of Mankind. Mankind did the old pop out of the casket deal, mandible claw, bing bang boom, put Taker in the casket. And then they had a rematch. Taker and Goldust did. I think it was at SummerSlam, maybe. I don't know. But now we're here. The final match, one would assume, given that it is a final curtain match. But yeah, like I said, I also was under the impression that it was like no DQ, but there was a point where so Taker, he just shit cans Goldust. By the way, Taker comes out, not a lot of pop in circumstance to his entrance. It just feels like Mark Calloway versus Dustin Rhodes here. For the most part, until later. But at some point, Taker shit cans Goldust to the outside. Marlena, who was with Goldust, hands Goldust. Oh yeah. She's a tasty dime, I would say. Hands Goldust her pocketbook, and Goldust reaches into the pocketbook where there is gold dust inside of it. So Marlena distracts the ref, and Goldust throws this gold dust into the face of Taker, which is at this point, it's like, why do you need to distract the ref if there's no DQ? There's like, maybe it's not no DQ, maybe it's just a stupid title for the match. And then at that point, I was like, oh, whatever.
I got this one all wrong. It's her
Tell me.
pocketbook.
I think so.
Golly, I wrote down it was the golden sack because it looked like a golden sack. So then it was the gold. She threw the golden jizz.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I have it wrong.
I don't know, man. It looked like a golden sack to me.
I don't know. What do you think, Duke? Maybe you'll break the tie.
Yeah, I got a serious bit here. So
Please.
We asked you a serious question.
I mean, we're all business here. I don't know.
I think it was a gold sack.
Ah,
But all right, on our most recent episode of our show, the Rogue said, he's never been intimidated by a guy covered in glitter.
true.
What do you think of the gold dust?
Well, I'm not intimidated by the gold dust.
No,
No.
I like that as a prop. It's like basically in place of the salt.
Yeah.
And it's unique to him. So I thought it was a nice touch. But-
It's the only time I think I've ever seen him use it. So had he used it a little bit more, I could have probably gotten behind it.
Mhm.
I was terrified of gold dust as a child. So here I was 3 or 4 years old, terrified of gold dust. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was unresolved trauma or what.
I don't
but
understand
like
this.
it.
I'm scared.
Scared of maybe my sexuality, perhaps. I don't know. Still grasping with it. But yeah, gold dust is out here. By the way, the attire of gold dust. I mean, well, speaking of which, JR says that, hey, don't let the gold dust package fool you.
Tricky package.
Oh yeah. So gold dust, yes, like it's the gold, obviously the jumpsuit, not jumpsuit, the what do you call it? Bodysuit, I guess.
Bodysuit works.
But it's like the white top and a gold bottom, which wasn't the most flattering, I don't think. It was a lot of happenings going on. A lot of movement that I wasn't particularly fond of.
Okay, now he's not a giant, but does he get on the giant scale somewhere?
I think he's all balls, gold dust, personally.
Me too.
Yeah.
Too.
I think that's pretty much. Yeah. So yeah.
I was gonna say I didn't take a ton of notes in this one. Marlena though, that's an oh yeah for sure. I don't care for her hair in this one.
Wow.
She's got the big hair. I don't like the big hair on Marlena.
Yeah, what would you recommend she do with her hair?
I don't know, just make it not as big.
Well, she's a big brassy, Hollywood lady, a gal.
She's like 4'10".
Right, but hair makes her 7 foot tall.
Okay, maybe just straighten it out a little bit. Right, it's just too much.
Why don't you
Come on.
fucking straighten out, pal? All right.
I'm trying.
Aren't we all? But yeah, it was honestly a pretty straightforward match. Taker wins with the tombstone. And that's pretty much all it is to it. The gold dust, gold dust was able to take advantage of it for a bit, but ultimately Taker's kicking the shit out of this gold bitch and plows him into the mat, 69 style. And Bob's your uncle. That's it. So
Fucking. At one point, Taker's unleashing the fury on Gold Dust, and Vince goes, "Undertaker exploding all over Gold Dust." And I went like, I'm watching the event by myself, right? And he's Undertaker's exploding all over Gold Dust, and audibly sitting there by myself, I went, "Oh yeah."
I did that a few times as well.
Yeah, it was an interesting match. It was fine. There's nothing to pick about too much unless you really get into the whole what are the rules situation. That part is aggravating. And then the fucking gold everywhere. Like they did the golden, whatever those golden drops are from the ceiling for Goldust entrance, which is awesome. It's awesome, but you got to clean that shit up.
is that also gold jizz?
From
Or
the
is it only
heavens.
jizz if it's from the sack?
That's a good question.
Or is there maybe a big sack up top that we missed? Giant sack?
Maybe it was
Could
maybe
be a
it
big
was-
sack up there.
Maybe it was that giant Sunny poster.
Oh, yeah.
A
Little
golden
leakage.
little golden squirt.
Okay.
Man, these are two of the longest lasting and best gimmicks that the company ever had, and it's cool. It was cool to see him back. There's Taker's been around for 5-6 years at this point, but Goldust is pretty fresh still. I mean, I always pop. Sure, as a kid, it was like, what the fuck is this? But when Goldust is feeling himself,
His histrionics.
And Taker, just sitting up after getting the business, like just little things like that were cool to see.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was. I mean, the one thing though that I just kept making a note about was I think Tim Dwight's the ref here.
Yeah,
And-
Tim Dwight was a receiver for the Atlanta Falcons.
Right. And the Chargers. Yeah, fast guy.
Yep.
But Vince McMahon says that there's no DQ or count out as he's counting the guys out of the ring.
Oh, he did say it. I missed him saying that. That's hilarious.
But I mean, for what it was cool to see these guys in action.
Because there was no chair action, no tables, no glass panes, nothing in this match that would suggest that it's no DQ, other than the gold dust. But there was the ref distraction, so it was a bit.
Is Tim Dwight still alive? Not Tim Dwight. Tim White.
Tim White, no, he just recently passed, maybe like a year ago.
Son of a bitch. I was gonna say that would get to the bottom of this Andre Hogg mystery because he was like Andre's handler.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hogg handler?
Oh. He could have been.
What a job.
I guess he's handling them now, huh? And the big giant sack in the sky. But close your mouth.
Oh, man.
Well, folks, that brings us to the main event. We got the WWF title on the line. The champion, Shawn Michaels, of course, with big Jose Lothario accompanying him, taking on Mankind with Paul Bearer, of course. Man, so I've always heard about this match as far as, like, at least in Mick Foley's case, a lot of people say this is his... You okay?
Yeah.
You okay?
I just read one of my notes and fucking made myself laugh.
Wow, you're just too hilarious for this, huh?
No, it's not even that good. I just fucking made me laugh.
Get to it. We'll get to it. Don't you worry, pal. This match, I mean, a great match. Do you guys put this at the top in terms of Mick Foley and all of his matches that he's had?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
It's a doozy, man.
It's a good match. Yeah. Good match. But I think Foley's career is, I think, by and large, like, kind of underappreciated for his in-ring work. And a lot of people focus more on what he's done, like, more of the stunts. But he is an absolute stud in the ring. Like, he can tell a fantastic story, whether he's working as Cactus or Mankind or Dude Love or just Mick Foley. Like, I really think that his in-ring psychology is up there amongst the absolute greatest that there is. So to say, is this, his best match, or is this in this, top 5 or anything like that? Probably not. And that's just, my opinion, I guess.
I might put this like somewhere in the top 5 of each guy's, just because Michaels is probably the best wrestler that Mankind faced in his prime, right? We got a contrasting styles bit happening here, which really brought out the best of both of them. And these guys just, we get all the greatest hits from Mick and whatnot. This sucker's like a half hour long. I don't know. It's just kind of a different thing because, I mean, Mankind's got this never-ending feud with The Undertaker. Those are most of the matches we see late 90s, and they're, it's usually just him getting the shit beat out of him.
Right.
But so it's nice to see him with with an exciting high-flying technician like Michaels. Definitely different. I hadn't seen this since I was a kid, so it was kind of a treat.
Yeah. Now, to your point, this was definitely a change of pace for both guys because Shawn has been facing all, Bulldog and guys like that, and he hasn't really faced like this type of character. And the story here is that Shawn, he's nervous, like he's never faced a guy like this, so he's cutting this promo before the match, which commentary is putting this over like, oh, he's so nervous, he's about to get in this ring with this deranged lunatic. But I think he might just be hopped up on pills, perhaps.
He's on drugs. And he says in that promo, this guy is as whacked as the day is long.
Oh yeah?
What the fuck does that mean? He's as whacked as the day is long. So we got 24 hours in a day. So he's 24 hours whacked?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Never had a whacked day?
Explain to me. No, man, even in my prime, tops 4 times. Tops. Right?
4.
Yeah, man. And that's
pretty good.
That's in my prime.
So I know that Shawn is Vince's guy, right? I mean, rightfully so, whatever. Do you remember him kissing other people's ass as much as he did with Michaels, just trying to build him up from the booth? Because that was one part that I was reminded about that I didn't care for, was just the overkill, just Vince sucking off HBK.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to. I don't know if as much as HBK, I might have to consult some court documents on that to be sure.
This is him when Ultimate Warrior showed up at WrestleMania. To answer your question, yeah,
got it.
so yes, and he did it with Lex Luger too. I remember at WrestleMania 10, it was very egregious. So yeah, it was kind of his thing. But yeah, Sean is one of the top ones for sure. The most flamboyant, the most charismatic. This fucking guy, is he? I guess he is flamboyant. Nobody's gonna question that.
Wait a second. How is he more flamboyant than Gold Dust?
I'm not saying he's okay. Yeah, the most
That's a
flamboyant.
good point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, he's androgynous, so I don't know if that takes over the flamboyance.
Right.
I don't know. I might have to consult a dictionary, perhaps.
I think Vince just likes that word, and he likes Shawn Michaels, so he just put them together.
Makes sense.
Probably not a lot of thought went into it. Yeah, you're right.
The flamboy toy.
I have one of those.
Man, there's some good stuff in this match, though.
No, I like it because it gives Mick Foley a chance to kind of tap into like what has made him famous, like the hardcore type of stuff. Even though this isn't per se like a no DQ match, there's a lot of like the spots on the concrete, the stuff against the steps, the tables. But this all also plays into Sean's story, who is trying to be more aggressive here than in his previous matches. So he's doing stuff that we've never seen Sean do, like that suplex into the steps. So Mick Foley's knees go right into it. Yeah. The stuff when the mat gets ripped up ringside and, Mankind gets shoved underneath the mat, and then Sean puts the mat on top of it and stomps the mat. So he's stomping him on the concrete, the flying to the outside. The announce table spot where they both go crashing through it. Yeah, I thought this match just played into both of their stories like perfectly. And I don't know, I just enjoyed it. The more aggressive Sean, I thought, he's still the guy at this point. So we're building him still, and Mankind, we're still building the Taker story, which comes into play at the end of this. But yeah, a lot of good things to say about this one.
Mick looked trim. Like he looked like he was probably in the best shape that I can remember him ever being in. When he does that head hanging spot in the ropes and he still locks in the claw from that, it's fucking beautiful. HBK working the claw hand is very smart. Everybody ends up getting covered in gold.
Oh, residue.
Yeah, that part was a little bit rough for me. They fucking countered a snapmare into like a claw. It was fucking beautiful. Like that was the one thing like in this match that, watching it all the way through, like Mick actually did get to put on a little bit more of his wrestling repertoire, I guess. The one thing I couldn't get over watching it is like they didn't really do much post this, right? They didn't do much, and I think that there was more meat onto the bone to this story. And then watching this match, I wanted so much for it to be Bret Hart and Mick Foley, because I think that as far as a wrestling match, that would have been insane to see, just a no holds barred type wrestling match with Mankind and Bret Hart.
Did they ever have a match?
I'm fairly certain I remember them on a Monday Night Raw, but I could be mistaken. But then never like a real program or anything like that. Would have been great. Would have been great to see. I think overall this was a very fun match to watch, to sit back. I did get a little bit. There's parts where I was like, okay, what are we really fucking doing here? Because all the outside shit.
There's a casket out there.
A casket. There's there's chairs, right? There's all kinds of shit going on, but it still feels like they're trying to hide it from the official. And again, this isn't. Correct me. I don't know if did they say no DQ. I don't remember them ever saying.
I think it's
DQ.
a final curtain match. This one.
This one's a final curtain match too. Okay,
yeah,
well
I
then
think we just got those mixed up.
Gotcha. That makes sense then. Yeah, that makes sense. Overall, man, it was a very fun match. It was nice to see Mick in this light, not just working as the the sadistic, like, you know, I'm gonna fucking throw just punches and kicks. I'm gonna do my bump spots, and then I'm gonna lock in the mandible claw. Like, to see actual wrestling from him was a kind of a new shade to him up to this point.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, because to me, like the top McFoley matches are like the street fights with like Triple H and Randy Orton, and even some of the stuff early on with like Vader and stuff like that. But this one is probably the most like pure wrestling match that at least I've personally seen from McFoley. And yeah, I mean, but you have that, but also, you know, sprinkling in the deranged Mankind character, the mandible claw, the getting his head stuck and the ropes, and then Sean, like you said, attacking the hand with like a chair. It was great psychology behind all of this.
Stabbing his own leg with that metal spike.
You know, what was the deal with that?
I still don't understand why. Like, I don't know what was going on there. And all of a sudden he has a spike and he's stabbing his own fucking leg. I don't get it.
They're trying to tell us that that's to get the feeling back in the leg. So he must have lost feeling in his leg prior to that.
He is as whacked as the day is long, I suppose.
Yeah.
Man, we made fun of Sean for saying that, but can't sue him for slander.
But this is a little bit that I kind of like. So Mankind's being managed by Paul Bearer, and there's a couple of times where he, you know, gets knocked to the outside, and then he like hugs the urn, you know, for comfort.
Yeah,
it's always a nice touch.
Well, it's the power of. Is it the power of the Undertaker in that urn, or is it a different power now that Mankind is with Paul Bearer? It's just a generic power in that urn.
I'm not sure. I mean, you remember when all that the green shit got out of the urn?
The green shit, yeah.
Green shit.
I remember the light shot out of the urn too. That was another urn spot.
The giant urn, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they got somebody new in there to replace the outgoing spirit?
Oh, like the giant Gonzalez?
Yeah, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Throw him in there, sure.
Yeah, why not?
I don't think he's dead at this point.
Well, his career is.
Oh, so Giant Gonzalez's career is what's in the urn?
Could
Is
be.
what you're telling me.
It might be. I don't know. What do you guys think of the finish of this one? Because that's one of the only like real issues I have with the match.
Well, Paul dinks Michaels with the urn, right? It's kind of like just a melee breaks out, and it's referee throws it out. Yeah.
I mean, this is following up. Should mention Sean runs up a chair and hits a sweet chin music on the top rope, like a flying sweet chin music. It was
not a fucking flying sweet chin.
Yes, it was.
No, it fucking wasn't.
What was it then?
It was a jumping bitch kick.
Okay.
JR declared it a sweet chin music.
I know what he declared it. It was a jumping bitch kick. It looked nothing like a chin music.
Did he hit him in the chin?
No.
He hit the chair, which hit his chin.
Ah.
So sweet chair music.
Chair music. That was a jumping bitch kick.
It
was almost like he watched RVD. Like, RVD does a sweet kick. I can do it. No, you fucking can't.
You don't think old Michael Hickenbottom has the same genetics as Rob Van Dam when it comes to the kicks? His feet aren't as educated.
They're definitely not educated. He's got C- feet.
He's got GED feet.
Yeah, he does.
I mean?
He's got GED feet. That's not bad.
So,
might steal that, by the way.
Well, we got that. Yeah, so Mankind came out in a casket.
He did, yes.
And then at the end of the match, Undertaker pops out of the casket. So
how'd he get in there?
I don't fucking know, man.
This guy, he's supernatural.
You think he maybe crept out there in the urn?
It's a fucking urn. It's not a genie's lamp.
Are we sure, though? Are we sure?
We're not. I guess we're not.
You
sure.
remember the big light?
I'm trying to make it make sense, man. You know.
We'll make sense of this. So
yeah, take it easy there, Ali Boo Boo.
So yeah, it ends up being like a DQ finish, even though we've seen a bunch of DQ worthy stuff up until this point. But Vader comes out there. I guess he's still pissed that Sean beat him at the last pay-per-view, and then Sid comes out there to neutralize Vader. So Sid and Vader scuffle and then skedaddle to the back. And then
skedaddle.
Yeah, they love a good skedaddle. and then Mankind throws on a mandible claw on Shawn. Undertaker pops out of the casket, and how does this even end? I think Mankind just take Mankind to hell. I think.
Yeah, take him
He
to
pulls
hell.
him down to hell. Yeah.
And Shawn looks like he wants to take his pants off.
Yeah, why is he showing ass after?
Does he have a new tattoo on his ass? Maybe
it's over. It could have been. I don't know. It's just, it's a fucking family show at this
What
point.
happened to Jose?
That's a good question. Did he get sucked into the urn?
Oh,
I
mean,
mean,
super stock in the urn.
Jose should be out there at least to tell him to keep his pants on, right?
Keep your pants on, right? That's a good thing to tell your friend. Keep your pants on.
Yeah, it's bare minimum, really, when you think about it.
And then HBK starts like high-fiving fans around the side, and this part made me laugh. So there's a redheaded gal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she goes in, right? She wants the smooch. HBK gives her the cheek. Keeps on high-fiving fans, right? He makes eyes with Perf. Him and Perf make eyes. I'm not sure what they were going for, but maybe, hey, I'm here, you're here, maybe. And he keeps high-fiving fans. And you know what he does? He doesn't do the regular high five around and then walk to the back. Gets out of the ring, high fives, smooch from the redheaded gal, keeps high fiving, eyes with Perf, keeps on walking around, and then goes back to the redheaded girl for another smooch.
Double smooch.
Unacceptable.
You don't like a double smooch?
She's a fucking minor.
Was it another cheek kiss?
I don't know. I think somebody was going to have to get a mop.
Okay. Well,
and going back to I suppose you haven't. Yeah, have you watched? What was it? One Night Only.
I have not. No.
Okay. Well, pay attention because he's smooching minors in that one too. It's just unacceptable. You can't do it.
Maybe it's part of the show, man.
No.
Minor plant?
That cannot be. No, there's not a minor plant. What the fuck? Like,
I don't
get your
think
head
there's
out of
any-
your ass.
I don't think there's any criminality for smooching, man.
Yes,
Smooching's fair game as
for
far as I
smooching
understand.
minors, you're goddamn right. There's some criminality to it.
In 96?
Yeah, I don't think
Yes, in
pedophilia was
96.
invented then.
In the WWF?
What
Yes,
if
in
a
the
minor
WWF.
smooches you? Minor
No.
smooches you, I think that's fair game. You can't smooch minor, minor smooch you.
No, I know where you're going here, but still unacceptable. And there's tons of gals out there ready for smooching. They're ready.
Are they though?
for it.
Sometimes you just get the feeling maybe they're not accepting of it. This gets redheaded gal. I mean, maybe they went on to get married.
Did you not? No, they did not. All right, he
I
married
don't
some
know.
nitro bimbo.
Tomato.
It's not tomato. That she was a tomato, not a ripe tomato. She was a very unripe tomato. Which shouldn't be fucking smooching. It's unacceptable.
A green banana.
That's a green banana. You're right. In some situations, a green tomato.
Well, sometimes a green banana is good. Sometimes
She's
it's got
got red hair, right? So
that's actually a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah, but you just can't do it, man. That's one of the, and you'll continue on here watching HBK, and you can keep track because he's out there and he is. There's somebody should look into that.
I'll put a minor smooch ticker at the top when this comes out.
You should, because it's 2 so far right now.
Well, it's one gal. We're just gonna count.
No. The judge won't see it that way.
Well, it's cheek smooches, so I think that's like 2 halves.
2 halves don't make a right.
But they make a 1.
They do make a 1, which is still unacceptable.
And 4 rights make a straight.
You still can't. Oh, wait, it does?
I think so. I'd have to get my calculator out, but not sure.
I'm not like condoning, like fraternizing with the minors, but kind of part of the show, right? Sandman smoking. That's part of the show.
No.
Yeah.
Well, handjob Kyle grabs his calculator. Let me explain to you.
My calculator.
It is not part of the show, and it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And you love it.
What about Michael's whipping his ass out? That's part of the show, isn't it?
So yes, that probably is part of the show. But again, there's children in the audience. Can't
They
have
have
that.
to look.
No.
I think ass cheek is fine.
Oh, is it?
I think cheek is good. Hole, no go.
So as long as
Cheek go.
if you don't show hole.
Yeah.
Well, is that you have to really kind of make some effort to show holes. So that makes sense.
Yeah. You got to
Interesting.
tease it a little bit.
But it's still unacceptable. Put this in any other situation, right? Put HBK, I don't know, at a fucking playground, right? Just for the sake of the argument here. We're putting HBK on the playground and he dances around, shows ass, and then lets a fucking minor smooch him. You don't think he's catching a charge?
I think if you're in the WWF universe, I think it's all fair game. You never know what's going to happen in the World Wrestling Federation. They tell you that from the outset. So you got to expect a smooch or an ass. I mean, we've already seen, that's the least of our worries from what we've seen on the show. We've seen dog dicks. We've seen
dog dicks.
Strappings. We've seen strap-ons. We've seen gold jizz. I mean, what else could you ask for?
Golden sacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
You make a good point. Yeah.
Strap-on match.
Yeah, he already said that.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's worth repeating. It's worth coming back to. But speaking of golden sacks, speaking of gold, speaking of sacks, you guys are a couple golden sacks. I appreciate.
Hey, thank you.
And any other nuggets, golden nuggets, huh? Any other nuggets on this show before we pull this train into the station?
I think this is the first show that we've looked at with you that I actually might go back and watch again.
That was a good one.
Not a bad watch. Yeah, and it's much better. What was the last one? The Briar Cliff.
The I don't know.
Just another night.
All the ECW stuff kind of blends together, honestly.
Right. But this is one I think I'll go back and watch again. No issues with it. I mean, if you really, I had issues with the what's the fucking word I'm looking for here? They just didn't pay attention to the rules. Pay attention to the rules. That I fucking hate that, and all wrestling rules should matter. But overall, yeah, nice relaxing watch, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was under 2 hours too, so
yeah,
it's easy to get through. And like I mentioned, I remember watching, getting the recap of this show back whenever the fuck it was, 25 years ago. So it's just kind of cool to revisit the childhood. And I mean, Justin Hawk Bradshaw, man, almost forgot about Justin Hawk with Zebekiah.
You look like you could be the third member of that faction.
They did call him the Hawk, and I don't want to go all the way back to the first match, but they did call him the Hawk, Justin Bradshaw, not Justin Hawk Bradshaw, and I'm guessing that's because, Hawk of LOD. Yeah. How many Hawks can you have, right?
Hawks. Yeah, one Hawk's enough, as far as I say.
No. Yeah.
But two
Pussies.
Two pussies are right here, and you can catch these guys on the Year of Duke and Rogue podcast. Appreciate you guys coming back on here. Where can everybody look at you, hear you, taste you, and fondle you until you secrete?
You can you can catch me live every Monday night on the Shining Wizards podcast. You can also catch me on the Year of Duke and Rogue podcast. I was proudly presented by Gorilla Brain Wrestling podcast. You always catch me on Tots Pod with my main man Tropic Al. Right now we got Duke and I are doing a run of episodes through WrestleMania 4 to WrestleMania 5. It's been a lot of fun. It's probably the most enjoyable run of episodes that we've done in quite a while, if maybe ever. Like, really enjoying what we're doing right now. It's a good time. Having a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Mega Power is going to be exploding here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. It's great. We're covering SummerSlam 88. The first one is our next one that's coming out. It's got one of my favorite spots of all time. There's a little spoiler. So Rick Rude's taking on JYD. He comes.
You don't need to tell him. You don't need to tell him.
Well, hey, no, this will drive him there.
It's so he comes out. He's got JYD on his tights, right, all over his crank, all over his ace, right. And he climbs to the top rope, and he pulls down his tights to reveal Jake the Snake's wife. Right on his crank.
It's a power move, man.
And then he drops this like flying fist.
That's
just total waste of effort. But Good stuff, man.
Love
I'm having fun. The last year was a trying time
it.
with the show. We let our audience choose for us where we were going, and that was
Big fucking mistake.
yeah.
I voted TNA. I was one of those votes.
I was gonna say you fucking voted TNA, didn't you?
Jackass.
Oh, 2005 TNA is a gem. You guys are out your gourd, out your balls. Mike Tenay and Don West, by the way. I take umbrage with all your besmirching of Mike Tenay and Don West. They're
Wait.
one of the best.
No, you're
One of
fucking
the best.
you're fucking wrong.
You're fucking wrong.
No, you're fucking wrong. Mike TNA, he sucks big old donkey dick, right? He's not good at all. And then Don West, he's got this fucking. Is he on cocaine?
I don't know. What does his sparkly t-shirts or button-ups and matching tie tell you?
Yeah.
The metallic shirts that he wears. Look, he's on cocaine, but he brings the energy, goddammit.
Not well.
I don't need it. I just need a lot of it. And Mike Tenay will steer him a little straight. He'll fill in the gaps.
No, that's the fucking problem. Is Mike TNA doesn't steer anything straight. He just makes more confusion.
No, you just don't listen to him.
I fucking listen to him, man. I listen to him a lot more than I should have.
Mike TNA, WCW had it right. Bring him in for one match to describe some moves we've never seen before.
Stuff you can't question them. Watch 36 hours of fucking Mike TNA. All right, too fucking much.
Oh man. Well,
but now we got Gorilla and Jesse the Body. Just good times, man.
Yeah, got Andre's hog everywhere. It's fucking awesome.
Once again, thank you to the Year of Duke and Rogue podcast for joining me once again, talking some old school 1996 wrestling. Always a joy with those guys. Go check out the Year of Duke and Rogue podcast, as well as the Shining Wizards wrestling podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, check out the Shining Wizards live every Monday at 7 Eastern. All that shit. And yeah. Follow me at Apron Bump. That's about. Wait a minute. That's not it. We ain't done here. Let's hit that jingle, baby. WCW, ECW, WWF. Who's the hardest promotion? Eric or Vince or Paulie? I think we can agree, though, it's mostly shit. Alrighty then. So if you're watching on YouTube, I will walk you through this. I'll share my screen so you can visually join this journey with me. But if you're just listening, I will also walk you through it. So right here, I have all of the criteria, in ring, out of ring, all that stuff, and everything has its own point values. Basically, we're just comparing WWF, WCW, and ECW at this point in time. So as of September 22nd, 1996, we're going to look at where we're at. What's the best? What's the worst? All that stuff. We'll get into that in a second. But first, let's run down where we are on the scoreboard. Right now, WWF has 13 points. WCW in second with 5 points. And then ECW pulling up the rear with 4 points. First things first, before we get into anything else, let's grade this pay-per-view because this will have a bearing on the points, perhaps. So, In Your House 10. We're rating from a scale of S to F. S being one of the best shows of all time, to F being something that I would rather have 5 kidney stones than watch. You know what I'm saying? So where does In Your House 10 Mind Games fall into this? I'm thinking B or C for sure. Because Shawn and Mankind was a good match, but it did have a DQ finish, and but it was still a very good match. It was awesome presentation. So that is a major mark in a good way for this show. However, the rest of the show, I mean, look, we had fun, right? I guess, like we said, it was an easy watch, but was this a good show? A lot of just like whatever matches. The tag team title match was weird. The final curtain match was kind of stupid. The opener was fun for what it was, even though it was really just kind of a platform for the ECW thing to kick off. But the ECW kind of invasion here was a cool thing to see on this pay-per-view. So that is also something we have to consider. I'm thinking B. I think we throw a B at this bad boy. We gave SummerSlam 96 a C. So I think, yeah, In Your House 10 is definitely B territory. So we go over to the tier list averages. So we look at each company and which show is having the best special event, pay-per-view, PLE, whatever. Which one has the best average score so far? And WWF is still at the top with about a C plus grade, whereas WCW has like a C minus. ECW has like a D plus average. So we go over here to the main scoreboard. Best overall average grade. So whoever gets this gets 6 points. WWF already holds on to this, so they just maintain those 6 points. So no change in the scoreboard there. Best pay-per-view of the year, we are tracking WrestleMania 12 as the best. This show, as per the grade, is B, not an A. So WrestleMania 12 was an A, so they still hold on to this. So WWF maintains that 2 points. Worst pay-per-view, WCW Super Brawl from WCW, -1 point. Yeah, this show was not worse than that. So WCW holds on to that -1 point. In ring. All right, so this is where we begin to kind of look in more of a macro sense among these companies. So which company has the best in-ring product as of this point? Right now, we are tracking WWF. So I'm gonna be honest, Shawn Michaels is a big part of why I say WWF here. And you got a lot of good workers here. You got your Owen Harts, you got Stone Cold, even Mankind and Undertaker, even though their feud is really wacky and kind of supernatural. Like their matches are good. So WCW is on the up and up. But I still don't think it's complete enough. Like their nitros are pretty shitty, dude. And we're taking into account all the TV and whatnot here. The nitros are little, like the storylines and stuff are cool. The NWO is running amok, so that's very interesting. But the matches, dude, like the second to second, bell to bell stuff from WCW is not very good right now. And ECW is just in a really chaotic state as of right now. So, they've lost like all of their quote unquote work rate guys to WCW in their cruiserweight division. So ECW is not super right now in ring. So we're going to say WWF holds on to this. So they maintain that 4 points. Best match of the year, Shawn and Diesel from In Your House 7. So the question is, was Shawn and Mankind better than Shawn and Diesel? My first instinct is to say no. I still think Shawn and Diesel holds up. I think overall, the overall package of it, was better than Shawn and Mankind. Personally. Again, that wonky finish to the Mankind match, I think holds it back a little bit. Where does it? It's a tough one, man. I mean, it's going to be WWF regardless, so it doesn't matter too much. I think Shawn and Diesel holds on to this for now. The energy of that match was unmatched in my opinion. So Shawn and Diesel will hold on to that, so they keep that 2 points. Worst match of the year, Ultimate Warrior versus Goldust. Also at In Your House 7. Was anything on this show worse than that? I mean, you could say Cornette and Lothario, but it was just a 1-minute segment. Like, it wasn't a match. And while you could also say that Warrior and Goldust, it was very, like, smoke and mirrors. It was very, extracurricular type stuff. It was just long and boring. Whereas Cornette and Lothario was quick and, like, kind of funny. So... for that reason, Warrior and Goldust holds on to this worst match of the year for now. So they keep that -1 point. So no changes yet. No changes yet to the score. But let's move on to roster and star power. So we're just kind of looking at each company and who they have and how intriguing, how powerful each roster is and how many stars they have and whatnot. So currently we're tracking WCW as the best roster. So you got the NWO, we got lots of people jumping over. We got Ted DiBiase, we got Virgil, obviously Hall and Nash are there, Hollywood Hogan. We got Flair still there, Macho Man still there, DDP and Conan are on the up and up. The cruiserweights, like from top to bottom, I think they still have the strongest roster. And WWF, I don't think has had really any movement since the last time we looked at this. Unless you want to count fucking fake Diesel and fake Diesel and fake Razor. So I think WCW still holds on to this one. So they keep that 4 points. Wrestler of the Year, Mankind. So this was Shawn Michaels previously. But I wouldn't see any reason to change this given the fact that the best match on this show was Mankind versus Shawn Michaels. So it's kind of a wash there. But yeah, Mankind, he's increased the case that he's making for himself for Wrestler of the Year on this show. So yeah, I think Mankind strongly holds on to this one. So WWF keeps that 2 points. Worst Wrestler of the Year, Ultimate Warrior. Anybody on this show give him a running? I don't think so. Like I said, there weren't any like tragically bad matches on this show. Mark Henry, Lawler. We'll get to Lawler in a second. Wrestling wise, I wouldn't say he's the worst wrestler. Yeah, we're gonna throw. I think maybe somebody from WCW might take this over at some point, but we'll touch on that. We're gonna be touching Halloween Havoc here soon, so we might circle back to this one there. So I think Warrior just holds on to this one for now. So WWF keeps that -1 point. So now we go on to Out of Ring. This is all the gimmicks, characters, promos, storylines. Best overall Out of Ring. ECW, we're tracking. I think I would still say ECW because they got, I mean, we talked about it in the last ECW review, Natural Born Killers. They got, the Shane Douglas and the Pitbulls and Pitbull number 1's broken neck. We got the Sandman and Raven feud with his kid, and we got the Gangsters and the Eliminators. We got Raven and Tommy Dreamer is still kind of going. We got a bunch of stuff going on. The FBI, the Dudleys, like it's a lot of shit. So whereas WWF, look, they got Mankind and Taker, which is good. From a storyline aspect, though, I mean, you got Bret and Austin beginning. We just put that on the burner. You know what I mean? So we're not, I wouldn't say that is a huge mark for WWF yet. But come Survivor Series, that may change. But we'll see. So yeah, I think ECW holds on to that. Best overall out of ring stuff with 4 points. Best character storyline. We are tracking the NWO as the best. From this show, it's really just a question of, is the NWO better than Taker and Mankind? And I would say, yeah. I would say the NWO at this point is just doing some really like revolutionary shit. We'll touch on it, like I said, in the Halloween Havoc review coming up here in a few weeks. It might be next week. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, just everybody joining, and they're really hitting their stride. They're really just creating their own tone of WCW. So just really good stuff there so far. So I think NWO holds on to that. So WCW keeps that 2 points. Worst character / storyline, Jerry Lawler. Just Jerry. This is based on his feuds with the Ultimate Warrior, with what else has he done this year? With Jake the Snake Roberts. I mean, just awful, awful stuff. Anybody on this show give him a run for his money? The question. I don't think so. You could hit like Jose Lothario I want to put on here. It's so annoying. Yeah, Sonny. No, Sonny's good. Sonny's good. Mark Henry's kind of cheese dick, but nowhere as egregious as Jerry Lawler, I don't think. So I think Jerry the King holds on to that one. So WWF keeps that -1 point. So all in all, no changes to the scoreboard. WWF still in the lead with 13. WCW has 5. ECW with 4. So we are approaching the fall of 96. So let's see how many shows we got left. Only 7 more shows. Man, ECW only has 1 more show, and WWF has 3, and WCW has 3. So we're getting there. We're getting there, baby. I will say this out here. You know, people are still hanging out. When we get to the end, so what's the last show? Starrcade 1996. So we'll do that episode. We'll do all this stuff just like we did here. And that'll kind of set a soft finish to this hardest promotion battle. What will happen next is, at least this is the plan, at least. Welcome for what's the word? Input. So if you want to join the Discord and we can talk about that there or whatever. Plan on doing a live show after this whole thing concludes. So after we finish Starrcade, maybe like a week or 2 after that, we'll do kind of a finale of 1996 where you, I'm pointing at you, can give your input. Do you disagree with any of this stuff? By the way, if you disagree, feel free to leave a comment on the YouTube or whatever. But we'll do a finale episode at the end of this where you guys can give your input. You guys can send in videos or audio files, and or just join the chat and give your input. Plead your case if you disagree with any of this stuff or if you agree with this stuff. And we'll work through it. And then when we're done, when everything's finalized and everything's set in stone, we'll hit that golden buzzer or whatever the fuck, and that'll conclude it, and a winner will be crowned. So should be good stuff, but go ahead and plan ahead for that coming up. It won't be until probably like late summer or some shit, but keep an eye out for that, and go check. By the way, speaking of YouTube, I've been putting out some kind of YouTube exclusive stuff. Just dropped a kind of a what if scenario video, similar to the one I did recently with WrestleMania main events. If the challenger was replaced by the opening match winner, I did something very similar, but it is if every Survivor Series main event was the WWF champion versus the WCW champion. So that was a fun time. So go check that out on my YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, man, I think that about does her. I think we did it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Love you all. Big old smooches all around. And I mean all around. Well, anyways, take it easy. Love you. I'm hard.
Yeah. And the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. It's the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started.